that they look just like somebody, but like a shittier version of it.
Something just off.
Yeah, like something... Like, some might say that I'm a dollar store version of Conor McGregor because I have ears that stick out of my face and a vaguely punchable face.
That makes sense.
Right. I look like I might throw a chair. Who knows? But
Definitely.
Definitely.
If you got on coke, for sure.
No, so even, like, I would love to just, like, go share that with all my coworkers and be like, hey, go check this out. And then if I made one person laugh, I'd be like, perfect. And then I would go tell everybody one at a time so that they would all think that they were the first person that I was telling it to. Because I wanted...
That's a great way to test a bit before you get on stage.
I still do this at work. I bring my notebook with me to work all the time. And I like to... My coworkers, I feel so bad for them because they have to listen to all of my bullshit, dude.
Bro, I do that at the gym. When I go to do jiu-jitsu,
yeah.
Like, I'll try out, like... I'll just say some random ass shit, like... That's how kind of the Rock joke came to be. We're talking about wrestling, and I'm like, yo, what if the Rock has a small penis?
Right.
All of a sudden, they were like, yo, what if he does have a small penis? Oh my god. And I'm like, that's a bit. Mental note, put it on my phone. Then, that turned into, a whole 2 minutes, so.
It's so funny because I write everything down, dude. At least I try to. Because I heard this quote that it was like, the difference between ordinary and genius is, writing everything down, like at least as far as like comedy and writing in general goes. Like it's just a matter of like putting pen to paper and like making it real versus just like ruminating on it. And so but the problem is like I first of all write in cursive, and second of all will be trying to write in like a shit dark comedy club like when I think of something. And so I have just, like, completely, like, illegible, like, scribbles across my notes.
But it's also getting it out of your head. Making space for new ones.
Right. I'm trying to find one that makes absolutely no sense that I... What? Yeah, dude. I have no idea. Like, some of these are just make no sense. I was trying to look up... Pocahontas on a dating app. What the fuck is that about?
I don't know, but that sounds weird. It sounds funny. It sounds funny, but weird.
I feel like I had something that I wanted to say about that, but I have no idea.
You're probably looking at a girl. It's just like, what if I try to find blah, blah, blah?
Trying to look at Pocahontas on a dating app. Who's to say? But I don't know. But yeah, for me, it's pretty much just like spontaneous ideas. Like, I very rarely like sit down to try and write something.
Yeah.
Like, that's... I feel like whenever I do that, it always comes out like super mechanical.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't have that same authentico, like, spice.
Yeah, spiciness.
I don't know. What's your process like, dude?
Well, I work at a desk job. So what I do is I keep this Google document open just on the side as I work. And sometimes...
I could never remember anything if I had to type it all.
So what I do is I type it out, right? I type it all out, and then since I have access to the Google... Right, on my phone to the Google. They called it the Google. I'm getting old.
The Google.
I'm getting old, so I'm assuming I should just start putting the in front of everything that I do on my phone. The Instagram,
right?
The Facebook. It was called the Facebook at one point, though.
You're only 29, dude. You're not even like at the halfway point yet.
But I'm married. That adds like 10 years, bro.
No, dude. Insomnia adds 10 years. If I can't tell you how often somebody tells me...
No. Jiu-jitsu adds like 20. So I have like arthritic fingers and shoulders and a neck.
Yeah, but that's only on the inside. You know what I mean? It's like... You have the youthful disposition of...
And gray hairs and a dope-ass new mustache.
You have a gray... You don't get gray hairs. I'm jealous. I can't. I honestly, I get them in my beard sometimes, and I'm like stressed out.
Bro, I just shaved because I had this 3 hairs down here that turned gray. I was like, no. I looked at that. I was like, babe, I'm getting old. Like, 29 doesn't seem old because it's not. But, dude, like, I was thinking about it. Like, when I was 22, bro, that felt like a lifetime ago.
Interesting, dude. Being 22 now is
Especially now that I'm married, it feels like a lifetime ago.
I can't even imagine what it's gonna be like. Of course, I feel like I'm gonna be 29, and it's gonna feel just like I am right now when I'm 22.
Like you feel the same, right?
Right.
But the world moves so fast now, bro.
I've experienced. I feel like the older I get, the slower everything goes. Maybe I've done too many psychedelics. Who's to say?
I don't know. I need to start doing psychedelics. So.
Hey, dude, I'm a big believer in like sober living in general. Like, if you are able to like function without drugs, like that's super awesome. But I think, hard ass, I think,
which negates everything you just said in the beginning.
Well, no, like, I mean, I don't really drink, and like
no, neither do I. I mean, I have the one or two and maybe a couple puffs here.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, I used to, like, I worked the program and everything like that, and, like, I was, like, really dead sober for a while and, like, have tattoos about it and shit. But, oh, my mom is calling me. Hold on really quickly. I gotta answer this. No, keep it rolling. Hey, Mom.
What are you doing?
Hold on one second. I'm recording a podcast right now.
Oh, where?
I'm recording, with my buddy, Daniel. We're just like sitting here in his room recording, and by the way, I have you on speakerphone, so you're on the podcast right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll let you go then.
No, Mom, I really want you to be a part of this. How was your day?
I'm all camera shy right now.
No, don't be camera shy. How was your day?
It was alright. Can I just call you later when I'm not on your podcast?
Okay, Mom.
I love you.
I love you right back.
Bye.
Aw, she loves you.
I have a rule that if I can help it, I never don't answer my mom's calls.
That's a good one.
Yeah, man. Well, my mom was diagnosed with, like, stage 4 ovarian cancer whenever I was, right before I started my freshman year of college. And that was, like, a hard thing for me. That was, like, it really took the wind out of my sails. And she was able to, luckily, like, have the surgeries done and go into complete remission, and has been in remission for a few years now.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's, like, a huge blessing. But, it was just, like, a big, scary thing because it was, like, out of nowhere. Oh, shit, your mom has stage 4 cancer.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I can imagine.
And so, I just learned to, like, never...
Is that one of those things why you still, like, no matter how much you doubt, you still have to believe in God because of shit like that?
That's so interesting, dude. Because I don't know necessarily... Because there's a lot of people that die, dude.
Of course.
So it's
people die every day.
I know. There's a lot of people that die of stage 4 ovarian cancer. So it's like, the fact that my mom didn't, I don't know that it's necessarily like divine providence of God, although I feel blessed that she, is still alive. I feel like whatever is manipulating the universe at a higher level, which I do believe in, I don't know if there is so much like a greater plan as much as like, I don't know. It's hard. That sort of stuff is hard for me to believe. Like, it's hard for me to believe that anybody like gets cancer or anything like that for a reason.
I don't know. I couldn't answer that. I really couldn't. I wish I could. Right? Like.
Yeah. No. And you know what? That's fair. And that's completely fair. But at the same time, you know what? Like, if I'm like stressed out or something like that, or I'm like scared or something, I had to get up and this is dumb, but I'm really afraid of heights. And my house got hit by a tornado on Sunday, and so I had to get up on the roof and like put a skylight back up on the roof so that the rain wouldn't pour in. And it was like wet, and it was like high up on the ladder, and I hated it. And I had to like get up on the roof and shit while it was raining. And the whole time I was like asking God for forgiveness of my sins, because in case I fell and died, I wanted to be covered.
Just in case.
Just in case, dude.
Is
Not
that
even.
Weird?
And less so just in case because it made me feel more safe, dude.
Yeah.
So, it's hard for me to say. Logically, I have so many problems with the concept, but it's like, I really do feel
part of you that just is like, this is right.
Yeah, I feel like believing in something in general is right for humanity.
I agree. Like, for, even till this day, right? Like, I've never really advertised it, especially in the comedy scene, because I know how people are. Not that I don't care about getting judged, because I personally don't give a damn. It's just...
I mean, fuck, I wear my cross every day, dude.
It's not about the cross. It's not about that. I was legitimately like a youth pastor for a long time.
Yeah.
And I was an armor bearer, the whole nine, you know the lingo. And it's not that I believe, first and foremost, right? Like, I'm always going to be a believer.
I'm an armor bearer, as in, like, the...
pastor's assistant.
Oh, okay.
As a pastor's assistant, yes, sir. Like the big pastor's assistant.
Okay.
I was that for years.
An armor bearer. I wonder what what's that? Is that like a reference to, like, the armor of God? Like, the breastplate of you know what I mean? Like,
yes, that's exactly what it is.
What are the components of that? I literally...
So...
other day I could have told you.
Yeah, so, for what I remember, it's when I was going through the course to become one of those people. Oh. It's getting the blessing of Abishai, where... You know who Abishai is, right? Mm-hmm. Where you serve your leader...
But explain who Abishai is. I just realized it's a pretty, like, niche reference.
It's a niche reference, but Abishai is one of David's mighty men who stood by David when David was getting haunted by Saul, King Saul. And he was the only one that stood by him after everybody else fell. So, in the depths of fucking basically hell.
Nice.
So, which was cool, you know, and I learned a lot, but at the same time, it's one of those things where has nothing to do with organized religion. Like, I get it, people need it, but to me, it's my faith in God and Jesus Christ, and it's never going to go away. Ever. I will always have this thing as like, but people. It's always been people, right? But that's where you kind of have to love on people. It's like, but people are assholes.
Yeah.
So that's where it is to me. It has nothing to do with faith. Like, to me, my faith will never be shaken because I have no reason for it to be shaken. Mm-hmm. But my faith in people has. That would be the straight up with you. Like, even the church that we attend to now, the pastor, I was referred to him by my last pastor, and he, like, knows my history and all that. Every time he sees me, he's trying to get me to, join the clique, and I'm like, no. It has nothing to do with you. Like, it has nothing to do with him as a person. Yeah. I could tell that he's a good dude. He's a family guy.
You know, it used to bother me about that church the last church that I was, like, really, like, a member of the congregation at was I realized that both the pastor and his son, the pastor drove a Bentley, and his son drove a Mercedes. And they both worked for the church. Yeah. And I was like, it just seems so antithetical to, like, what the Bible actually said.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
So, the last church that I went to, like, I loved the guy. Awesome dude, right? But what ticked me off, it wasn't so much what he drove. It was the lifestyle. Living downtown in a penthouse. I don't want to judge. And I found out a lot of things that were, like, made sense to me. It was like, well, he doesn't get paid by the church. He gets paid for booking, basically, gigs. Right? So this dude is spreading the word, doing, book tours and gigs and writing books. Yeah. Which makes sense. You got to make a living somehow.
Yeah.
But you're living, and maybe this is where I'm wrong, and this is one thing where I'm honestly willing to say that I'm wrong, in judging in a lot of ways, right? It's seeing him live this lavish lifestyle that maybe I'm misinterpreting. And all of a sudden, your pastors look like Calvin Klein models. And I never look like a Calvin Klein model. You know what I'm saying? Your pastors and everybody on your staff look the part to attract people. But what you're preaching is more prosperity than it is substance. And there's nothing wrong with teaching prosperity or teaching,
Oh, I'm sorry, I have to cough if you want to pause it.
Go for it. More ASMR. It has, to me, back at it, it's never been about what you preach, but who you are as a person. It always felt like he was a good dude, but what he was putting out to the world and the perception that always becomes reality, like, that felt wrong to me. And when I decided to leave, it was like, oh, well, you don't want to be part of my circle. It's like, I love you, man, but it's not. Something inside of me is telling me this is not where it's at.
Right.
Same thing. Same reason I converted to Christianity in the first place. I was a Catholic growing up, you know? Mm. It was like, you're 14, 15 years old and you're looking